My name is Ignacio de la Torre, Chief Economist of Arcano Partners. Up to now, we are on the 11th of March, 12 o'clock. There is 120,000 people who have been infected with the coronavirus. 4.3 thousand have died, and there is a rate of new infections of 4.5 thousand people a day. Now, this situation is producing a sharp dislocation of financial markets, and many people question themselves to which degree this will imply that we're going to be heading towards a recession. Now, to answer these questions, we have written 3 research notes this week. One deals with the medical situation, how to analyze an epidemic. The second deals with the political, the economic, and the market impacts of this medical situation. And the third deals with the situation of Spain. Now, if we look into the first research, what we have done is to try to fight the infodemics. Infodemics is when you have a lot of noise and not clear data. We have looked at the clear data, how to look into an epidemic in terms of the growth rates, whether you need to look at logarithmic scales or linear scales, cleaning the lethality data to understand which is the true lethality, and making simulations on how many people could get infected, as well as how many people could die, and finally, how many months do we think this is going to take. Ultimately, this is going to be driving the economy, hence markets. Second, we have analyzed in a second research note which are the economic impacts of this situation, the political impacts, as well as the markets impacts. So in terms of the economic impacts, we have been looking at the double supply shock and on demand shock we are seeing on the economy. We analyzed the impact in China, in the US, in Europe, as well as Spain and other emerging markets. In politics, we have an opinion to which degree this could be influencing on the elections this November in the US. And in terms of markets, we do an in-depth analysis of the impact of the situation in Forex, in sovereigns, credit, high yield and investment grade, equities, money markets and commodities. Finally, we are launching a note analyzing the situation in Spain, both medically as well as economically. What we do is some simulations on which is going to be the penetration of the disease into Spain, and then we make an estimate on the impact that this situation is going to have on the Spanish growth rate, taking into account positive factors such as lower oil price and negative factors such as tourism. And finally, we also analyze to which degree this has a political consequence in Spain. Finally, there should be a recovery. We know it normally happens once the virus is over at a global level. The question is whether the recovery is going to be a V, a U, or a square root. And this is what we try to answer in these notes, as well as on an in-depth presentation of 80 slides we are also publishing this week.